Have you ever felt like you're juggling all the things, but you're still wondering, am I even doing this right? Because same. So let's talk about it. Today we're getting cozy for a little journal entry episode. I'm sharing what's been on my mind lately, and that includes life updates, imposter syndrome, stepping out of my comfort zone, how breathwork has been my secret sauce to staying grounded while building my dream, and so much more. So, welcome back to those that are returning listeners. I'm really glad you chose to spend this time with me. And to new listeners, welcome to the Sustainable Act journal entries. So, the Sustainable Act, if you're not familiar, is a podcast focused on highlighting and interviewing sustainability leaders and just some incredible people around the world doing great things in their communities. And this year, we introduced journal entries, which is just a solo chit chat where I talk with you one-on-one about other topics that we don't normally discuss on the podcast. And if you are familiar with journal entries, you know I haven't put out an episode in a while, actually since the very first journal entry, which is earlier this year. And the reason being is something I'll go a little bit into this episode because it's very much aligned with what I'm about to share and talk about today. With that being said, grab your cozy drink. If you're watching this or if you're listening on your walk or in your car, thanks for tuning in, and let's just spend the next little while together like we're on a FaceTime or a call. So it's November 2024. And it's wild how fast this year has gone by. I don't know if anyone else has experienced that, but I feel like I have experienced and done and just had so many different things happen this year. Just a lot of big changes. I've had a lot of trips and events and collabs and interviews and all the sort, and it's been exciting. So I wanted to just share a little bit about sort of my year and what my highlights were, and I would love to hear from you as well. Maybe if you want to share whether you're commenting on the podcast or on our socials, let me know how your year's going. But a little recap. I went to LA, Los Angeles in June, and I went to attend the Hollywood Climate Summit, this time for the first time representing my own company, which was very exciting. And while we were down there, Ursula, who's our creative director, and I went, and we also scheduled podcast interviews, and we interviewed some of my favorite people in the world, and we have been putting out those episodes, those interviews, so they're out now. You can check them out, and if you have listen to them, I really hope you enjoyed those conversations. We had such amazing people, and we got so vulnerable, and it was just so amazing to be able to go and do these interviews in person. And if you watch the video interviews, you'll see that I was a little sweaty. It was very hot, but nonetheless, so amazing to experience that. And just I've been doing these interviews virtually for so long, and so this year we really took that a step further and really made an effort to have in-person interviews. So if you're watching, I have Chloe, my dog, in my lap, who is just cuddling with me, so don't mind her. And I also met some really amazing people at the Hollywood Climate Summit or in LA while I was there. One of those being Stevie Gray. Shout out to Stevie, who is now officially a part of the Sustainable Act team and is one of our columnists, and he's incredible, and he's been putting out really amazing articles and blog posts, and so you should definitely check those out. So all in all, it was such a good trip. I'm so glad I went. Ursula and I had the best time there, and I just love it so much. I have so many friends there. I feel like it's a second home now for me, and just the community I have down there, I value so much. I also received a fellowship this year, which I'm so excited about and so grateful for. And because of that, I got to go to Quebec City for the first time in August and connect with the other fellows and take part in all these like incredible leadership workshops and workshops focused on mental health. And it's to grow a new initiative that I will be launching next year, which I'm also really excited about. October was full of many events, and the Sustainable Act actually got to partner with a few of these events. We were a media partner for Eco Rise Fest, for the Sustainable Production Forum in Toronto and Vancouver, and I wasn't able to attend all these events, but I had just amazing people on this team that, our team is growing, which is also another highlight. My team was able to attend these various events and represent the Sustainable Act and capture interviews and connect with so many people, which also was just so awesome that we're getting to a point where we're really having this community impact and presence. In my personal life, I recently have moved to a new apartment back to downtown Vancouver. I used to live in the city, and then I moved out of the city and only lasted a year, which was the length of my lease, because I missed it so much. I have so many friends here. My community is a big theme today. The community is so important, and I just missed being in the city. And so I moved back and into a new apartment, which I'm in right now. So the last journal entry was in my other apartment. But then, I kid you not, maybe 5 days into moving here, I got this very last minute gig where I relocated to Whistler, which is about 2 hours away from Vancouver, for a whole month. And it was just such a curveball. I was excited. I thought it'd be fun to take it. Great experience. I haven't been on set in so long, in maybe 3.5-4 years. So it was just there's a lot of pros and cons. I love being back on set, but it was also just very long days, and it was something I didn't plan for. It was a very a sporadic decision to go, but I spent a month there, and so all that October, I think, was really the month I took it easy and I slowed down, and I was just trying to settle into home, make my new apartment a home and embrace the cozy weather and just a lot of self-care. That is some personal updates, what's been going on in my life. And if you tuned into my last journal entry, which was so long ago, I apologize. I haven't been doing these consistently. I'm going to talk more about that, why. If you did listen to that episode, you know that I went through a pretty big transition in life, into doing the Sustainable Act full time. And I gotta say, that's probably one of my biggest highlights of 2024, is making that leap. But with that, I also had some real moments of doubt and burnout, and a lot of moments where I was really questioning myself and my decisions and if I'm on the right path. This year taught me so much about the balance between ambition and wellness, and I'm learning that slowing down isn't failing. It's fuel for everything that I want to build. If you know anything about imposter syndrome, you know that it never really goes away. You kind of just have to fake it till you make it sometimes. I was excited about the concept of doing journal entries, and then my imposter syndrome kicked in, and I got in my head a little too much, which prevented me from continuing to do these more. Questions why would anyone even want to listen to these, and who am I to be doing this? These are some big questions that I'm sure others can relate to, and I'm sure you have thought that doing whatever it is that you may be doing or something different. And I was getting messages, it's been months since I put that episode out, and I still get messages to this day from people that said they listened to that episode and it really resonated with them, which that's wild to me, because I think it's like when you put out your sort of like vulnerable self out there, you do reach the right people. And I'm now sitting here talking to you, realizing what a mistake it was to go all this time without doing journal entries. I absolutely love connecting with this community. I love reflecting on learnings, and I do feel like there's value in taking this further and having more meaningful discussions beyond spotlighting the incredible leaders that we often feature on this show. So, if anything, take this as an opportunity to also lean into things that scare you or cause you self-doubt. And I hope by the end of the episode, you also feel empowered to step out of your comfort zone and manage your imposter syndrome, if that is what you're experiencing. Okay, so a little confession. There are days that I wake up where I wonder, who am I to be doing this? And can I really be doing this? Can I really make this my full-time thing? Should I go back to like the comfort of a 9 to 5 and a steady income? That's the imposter syndrome talking. I recently stepped into a role that felt huge and I was terrified, but I also reminded myself that every expert was a beginner once. So I said yes, and it turned out to be one of the most rewarding experiences. Everything I mentioned in the beginning, in terms of the highlights I've had of my year, wouldn't have happened if it weren't for me taking that leap of faith. I was recently recognized as a top 30 under 30 sustainability leader by Corporate Knights, which is so honoring. Like, it is so, like, I don't know, it just felt really incredible to be recognized that way, though I don't see myself in that light. I even questioned myself once I like received that recognition. Like, the imposter syndrome kicked in and I was like, I feel like an imposter. Like, I don't feel like I'm doing enough to be receiving something of this level. And that's okay. I just want to say it's okay to feel those feelings. It's okay to acknowledge it. I think it's important to acknowledge it. If you're feeling like, you know, you're questioning yourself or you're feeling these moments of doubt, I think it's important to recognize and acknowledge those emotions and feelings, and then put it aside, put it in a box, put it aside, and focus on what you're set out to do. Whether that is a dream job you have, a role that you're trying to go into, or you're trying to build a business, or you're trying to be your own boss, or starting a new class or hobby, whatever it may be, step out of that zone where you are questioning, you know, whether you are made for this or you can do this. Put those as feelings aside and just get started. And I know it's easier said than done, but sometimes you just gotta be a little delulu, and I've been using that a lot this year. Just be delulu and just like go for it, and you'll never know until you try either. And if you're feeling stuck in self-doubt, ask yourself, what is the worst that could happen if I just try? Spoiler, it's usually not as bad as we think. I just want to talk about sort of like diving more into the self-doubt feelings that I've been experiencing. For me, it shows up as anxiety, and I don't know if this is relatable to anyone listening, but I find myself spiraling when I think about, am I on the right path? Should I be doing this? Am I meant for this? Should I go back to where I'm comfortable? And when I'm spiraling, my mind goes in overdrive. And that's when breathwork comes in to save the day. Recently, ever since I moved back into the city, I started going back to my old workout studio. I used to go all the time when I lived here before, and I truly like, I found that such a like safe space for me to just go and let go, put everything, like my stresses and sort of anything I'm feeling, any kind of emotions, and I would leave it out the door and I would go and do a workout class. So when I moved back, I decided to go back to the workout studio. I normally like going to the gym and I like lifting weights. This year, I decided to try out Pilates, only because I feel like I'm in this phase in my life where I feel like it's a lot quieter. in my head. I feel like I'm slowing down, and I want to be more intentional with slowing down and really like not feeling in this like overdrive, all the time, which I used to be. And I think there's like a lot of like studies around how it's linked to our cortisol levels and why we're always inflamed, and why like when we're always in high stress. And I felt like I was constantly stressed out and just like going a million miles an hour mentality, while I was balancing these different roles I was in. This year I really took it as a opportunity to slow down. I'm not in a race. I can take it slow. I can figure out what I really want to be doing with my time and be intentional. And that kind of like came out in even the way I want to work out and take care of my body. I really wanted to just not be in this high stress mode all the time. And I checked out Pilates, and I've never really done Pilates before, if I'm being honest. Like, I've done a few classes here and there, but not like enough to know much about it, or to like, I didn't think I was just enjoying it much before. And I started going, and I realized like how much I needed something like that, where I can just slow down, but like really like I found myself getting stronger and stronger. The more classes I went to, I didn't feel like I had to be in this high stress mode, but I'm still feeling really, I guess, satisfied with the workout I'm doing because it's slow, controlled moves. And I'm sharing all this because I found myself, and yoga as well. So Pilates and yoga, where I just like, I'm on a mat and I'm just like following the instructor's lead, and I'm doing all these different movements. And what I learned from doing these classes for a couple months now is how much breath work is important. Like how breath work is integral to your workout. And they usually an instructor guides you through how to breathe, which is funny to say. It's like, how do you breathe? But you're guided through how to breathe through various moves. So when to breathe in, when to breathe out. And it's like, there's like this art to it. And not forgetting to breathe as well. So like to not hold your breath while you're doing these different exercises. So if you do Pilates or yoga, you'll know what I'm talking about. And if you aren't as familiar with it, like just imagine, like if you close your eyes and you imagine like you're really like focusing on one muscle group at a time, and it's hard and you're holding it. You gotta breathe through it to really like allow yourself to like fully like be able to do that movement without causing too much strain on your body. I don't know if I'm saying this like accurately. I'm not obviously a fitness instructor or anything, but I just from my own experience as someone that's been taking a lot of these classes, I learned a lot about how to breathe. And how that like is connected to this episode is, I found when I'm in these moments where I'm working on something, or I'm starting to get stressed out, or I'm starting to feel a little bit sort of like not in control of my thoughts or mind or my body, I find myself breathing like the way that I would breathe in these classes. I would hold in my breath, and I would like exhale slowly, and I would just do that again and again. And I kid you not, like I'm not really intentionally breathing like that. I gotta admit, full transparency, I have experienced panic attacks previously, like in the past, and I have been led through breathing exercises, and like yes, that it's helped in those times, but that's pretty extreme, like to get to that point and then like you're breathing. What changed for me is like I'm finding myself in my daily life breathing a lot more and just slowing down. And I was even talking to my therapist recently, and I was explaining this whole like experience to her, and she pointed out that she noticed how like even my voice got deeper and slower as I was explaining this. But when I was talking to her about the things I'm stressed about, my voice got higher, and I'm kind of like talking more frantically, and just the difference that I didn't even realize in myself as I was talking, because I was able to bring myself to those like to that space where I feel calm and I just breathe and I like do whatever movement. And yeah, anyways, that was a long story about how breathwork has really sort of helped me throughout my day-to-day life when I start to feel things that I can't control, or I can't seem, or I don't think I can control. I can't, because I center myself and I start breathing more. And it just like completely shifted how I manage stress. It's like giving my nervous system a reset button. So this is something I wanted to share with you. If you're ever feeling like a little bit more stress, or you're feeling more sort of like anxious, or you're feeling like you're not in control of your thoughts and you're spiraling, I want you to just take a moment and try to remember like breath work and use your breath to center you and to regulate your nervous system, because it's proven to help so much, and there's so many studies about it that you can read. But a simple practice that you can start doing, which I have done like and I continue to do, is inhaling for 4 counts, holding for 4, and then exhaling for 4. So it's called box breathing, I believe, and it's 4 4 4. Inhaling for 4, holding for 4, exhaling for 4, and repeating until you feel like you feel centered and you feel regulated. Let's just do it together. Like, let's just do it. I know this is crazy. Let's just do it together. So we're just going to inhale for 4 seconds. 2, 3, 4. And hold. 2, 3, 4. And exhale. 2, 3, 4. So thanks for doing that with me. The reason I wanted to do that is so that, if you're listening to this and you either are familiar with box breathing or you haven't tried it, now you have. We've done it together. I just like, I feel like this has helped me so much in the last few months, because I definitely have had moments where I'm like, am I on the right path? Am I doing this? Am I good? And breathing just allows me to just calm. We're good. It's okay to feel these, like, it's okay, like, accept these feelings, but don't spiral and don't go sort of like, whoa. I also want to share something that I learned from doing more low impact exercises like Pilates and yoga, is the fact that, like, you don't just go to your like first class or do your first like whatever, like even if you're doing it at home, and you're suddenly like able to hold every pose and you're so strong, unless you are, which I'm jealous, but for most of us it's not like that on the first day, or even the second or third or fourth, and it takes time to build the strength to be able to hold poses longer, or to just feel yourself getting stronger and stronger. And the beauty in that is that journey of like, the more you do it, the stronger you will get. If you keep showing up, you will see results. You will get stronger. I use that analogy because that's what I remind myself when I am doing this work and I'm building my dream life, and I am, building my own business and my company, and I feel like I can't do it, or I feel like, I'm not seeing success in the way that I imagined or as fast as I thought I would, which is crazy because I know you're hearing myself. I'm like, it takes time. That's normal. However, I have moments where I'm like, I don't think I can do it because I'm not, whatever my idea of success may be, I'm not there yet. And I think I use the analogy of like when we are going to either work out or whatever it is. If you started a new hobby and it's that journey of learning and getting better and better and better, and it's satisfying, especially if you accept it. It's that journey of getting better and seeing your progress, no matter what it is that you've tried. And I really applied that to me, growing my business and growing the podcast and doing all these things. And I think I forget sometimes that I'm so focused on these end results of like whatever success may mean, that I forget that it takes that time to build the strength and build sort of the tools to get to whatever this, ed success goal may be. And so it's something I want to share with you. If this is something that's resonating, is really enjoy the journey, and just and give yourself grace and give yourself the time to get better and better, and just keep, especially if you don't stop showing up, just keep working at it, because that is the key to achieving whatever you want to achieve. So take that as you need, and I hope that it helps. It's something that I'm constantly reminding myself of, and I know I will continue to do so, because imposter syndrome never really goes away, which is something I learned, because no matter what role I've been in or what I've sort of, embraced or have whatever, I don't even know, like whatever chapter I'm in, I always feel imposter syndrome. And then I realize it's because I keep challenging myself and I keep putting myself in these positions where I'm uncomfortable. So I step out of my comfort zone. As soon as I start to feel comfortable, I get bored. And that is why my imposter syndrome never goes away, because I never feel like I'm just settling. So it's a gift and a curse, but we can make the best out of it if we have the healthy mindset to do so. So I just want to talk about slowing down, because I mentioned that earlier, where I, made it a personal goal to just slow down this year and really just feel like being more intentional and being more calm. And I have been loving it. As a chronic people pleaser, as a eldest daughter, as a, all the things that have made me who I am, where I feel like I gotta constantly be working and hustling and doing things, and I can't slow down, and rest is for the weak, and I'll rest when I'm dead. Like all these things that I have been so programmed to think like for as long as I can remember. It feels really wrong when I just like put my phone away and I'm like, I'm gonna choose to just read, or I'm gonna choose to just, do whatever cozy activity, craft it is that I want to do, and not think about work. It feels rebellious. And if anyone can relate, and you have tried to just like chill, you know what I'm talking about. However, it also feels so good, because I don't think I've ever had a point in my life where I was like, I'm just not gonna work and I'm not gonna feel guilty about it. And that is something that I feel like slowing down has helped me become a better leader. It has helped me show up better in my work and in my life. And it's helped me focus on building the sustainable act with intention, rather than burning out trying to do it all. And some of the things that if you're curious, some of the different things I've been doing now more to slow down and turn off my brain is putting my phone away, putting my computer away, and actually just putting screens away. Like I don't even turn on the TV. I'm an avid binge watcher of whatever TV show is on, and I will binge it all, and I'm guilty of that. And I've been just really like trying to be more intentional with even that consumption aspect of just turning off screens. And I started reading, I started coloring, I got coloring books and pencil crayons. It's like, say hi everybody. Hello, my name is Chloe, and I'm just popping in for a little cameo. Okay, so coloring has been like such a cozy activity that I've embraced this fall. I recommend everyone to try it. If you're an adult like me who hasn't colored since, I don't know, middle school, try it, because it's actually just been so calming, where I just put screens away, I put some music on, and I just focus. Like I draw, I doodle, or I color, and I got some coloring books that it's just like, it's been a really fun activity to just like slow down. So these different things help me just like slow down, and I get my partner involved, or if I have friends come over, we'll do it together. And I feel like it's just such a fun bonding exercise too, where just like watching TV all the time, and gives you something else to do. So those are some of the things I've been doing more of, if you're also wanting to embrace some cozy activities. But all in all, like whatever that may be for you, I also want to get into crocheting, and I want to do all these other things too. If you have other suggestions, let me know. But I find these activities have helped really, like, again, regulate my nervous system, because my job is like all digital. Like, I'm always on a phone or on my laptop, or I'm like watching some. It's just constant. And so for me to just be able to turn it off, put it away, and like just not have screen time for a little bit has helped me so much. And I haven't had this experience of just like slowing down and doing, like, I always thought in the past, like, I used to think, oh, I wish I could just sit and color. Like, I just don't have the attention span for that, or whatever. Like, I would tell myself these things. And it's because I always was just like on edge. And I didn't feel like I had the attention span or the time. But really, it was just, it takes time to build that sort of like intention and practice, where you don't, like, that guilt of like, I gotta be working, or I'm like, I'm not working right now and it's bad. Like, I need to constantly, like, especially if you're your own like business owner, or you're building your own company and like you're your own boss. Like, there's a lot of guilt with that, in terms of, if I'm not working, I'm not making money, or if I'm not working, the things aren't getting done. So I think it's a real practice, but no matter what age you're at, and where you are in life and what job you're in, or if you're in school, I think really being intentional with wanting to take that slow approach and just really just slow it down, I think it will really help. So again, take what you need from this. If it's something that you want to try out, or if you have been doing, amazing. But if it's not something that's for you, no problem at all. So yeah, I think those are some of the things that I have been thinking a lot about, that I wanted to talk about and share. One thing I really remind myself daily is progress, not perfection. Every small step forward adds up to something incredible. So start somewhere, but embrace the journey of learning, growing, and building. And you can't jump to the end results. And if you do, what's the fun in that? Trust the process and don't give up, and just keep working at it, and remember to breathe through those moments when you feel stressed and you feel overwhelmed, or you feel like you're not good enough, or you can't do it. Just breathe through it, center yourself, and remind yourself, like, you can do it, you are doing it, and you will do it. So if there's one thing I want you to take away, it's this: you don't have to be perfect to make an impact. Just start where you are and breathe through the hard moments and keep showing up. I'd love to hear your thoughts. What's one way that you have been stepping out of your comfort zone or finding balance this year? DM me, or let's chat in the comments, but let's share with one another, so we can inspire each other. And even though the year is coming to an end, it's never too late to start something new, or change something, or set a new goal for yourself. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I truly enjoyed this. It wasn't as daunting as I thought it would be, because I, again, got in my head. But take this as I'm stepping out of my comfort zone and I'm doing these solo chit chats. I invite you to do the same. Not doing maybe a chit chat episode, but whatever for you stepping into the comfort zone means. And join me, subscribe to the Sustainable Act. We always have incredible interviews coming out, but also I will do more of these solo episodes if you enjoy them. Next episode, I do want to talk a little bit more about being sustainable this holidays. So if you're interested, let me know. If there's other topics you want to chat about, or you want me to talk about, let me know. I'm open to ideas. I love this, and yeah, until then, take care. I cannot wait to talk to you again soon, and thank you so much for tuning in and being part of the Sustainable Act. Much love. See you later. Bye.